Hello, everybody. It's my privilege to introduce to you, all the way from the south side of Chicago, the man, the myth, the legend, my Theo, your brother, the Southside Unicorn.
Hey, it's Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. It's Friday, so that means it's Funked Up Fridays. But, anymore, every day is like any day. You understand what I'm saying, because of this shelter at home and COVID-19 and all that. Is Monday really Tuesday? Is Tuesday really Friday? Who knows? But I do know I have you for an hour, and you have me. So why don't we just chill and make the most of it, right? Today's show is titled Seen Enough. Those of you who know me, those of you who see my Facebook page, you know what that's all about. Just take a look at today's logo. Read it carefully and look at when it was. I think I said enough about that. Today's show we're going to talk about, obviously, AOC, that Ocasio-Cortez. We're going to do some nostalgic stuff and talk about the history of USS Pueblo. We're going to talk about Prince Harry and his hairy life. We're even going to get down and talk about USS Theodore Roosevelt and a couple other things too. So, you know how we do it. Get yourself together. Get your favorite beverage. It doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol. Of course not. It can be a chocolate shake. It can be iced tea. It can be whatever you want it to be. As long as you're chilling with me, it's okay, G. So yeah, let's just go ahead and down into this show, shall we? Ooh, that was sweet. I like doing stuff like that. You got to keep up. You got to keep up. All right, now, me and my friend Josh Hill, we did a show on Monday called COVID in the Hood. Now, I love that prophetic angle of the Southside Unicorn Show. I love that prophetic angle of my memes and postings, so forth and so on. That's why it's important that you listen to the show. Because I'm putting some word out there, some information you might want to get ready for. That way it's not so surprising when it hits. So on Monday, we did a show called COVID in the Hood. And we lightly touched on the idea of, is the COVID pandemic affecting the African American community any differently than it does other communities? And I had the pleasure of my friend Josh Hill from our trio. He has his own show on YouTube. Check him out. And so we talked about it back and forth because we have disparaging, or should I say different ideals about certain topics. So it was a refreshing way to look at it because I see it one way, he sees it another way, but somehow we hope to see the same thing at the end result. Well, I told him, I said, sooner or later, somebody was going to throw out the race card about old COVID-19, about the coronavirus, about the Chinese virus, whichever way you want to call it. What's your favorite word for the absurd? You pick it. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Without delay, without a surprise, and right on time. We got AOC. I don't like even saying her name. Ocasio something Cortez. Well, she says that COVID refers as how can I put it? She said that it did, and I'm getting tongue twisted about it because it's upsetting. She said that COVID-19 is affecting the black community and the brown community differently than it does any other community. Well, I'll be damned. This thing is a virus. It ain't got no eyes. This thing is a virus. It ain't got no ears. This thing is a virus. It's not a Democrat. So how is it that it black and browns on purpose? Those are some of the few things you need, in order to be attacking the brothers so hard. So why don't you go back into that show, COVID in the Hood, and see that we all but predicted that she would come out and do that. And yes, she did. Like Thursday she did it. And I was like, there it is. And, go on Facebook, join over there on Facebook or on my Twitter. You can find my Twitter page at KenWhite4444 and join in the conversation. There's so many intelligent, cool, well-rounded people on my page. I am so happy about that page. It makes me proud. I was looking at some of the responses, and they were like, you know what, this woman is just stupid. How does a virus, pick on a particular race or anything? And it also broached on the idea that sometimes in the African American and brown communities, people don't necessarily see the law the way they should. As my friend Josh Hill pointed out, a young African American wanted to have a birthday party for her child. So what do? She invited the whole damn neighborhood. Wow. So go take a look at that. AOC says that COVID-19 be a racist. Ha. Now, it would not be a complete story if we didn't slide on over to a friend, because not to be outdone, my girl, your girl, Ilhan Omar, she got to come up with something too. When they started saying that the damage that COVID-19, that the coronavirus, that the Chinese virus is doing to America, she obviously tweeted on her page something in Farsi that goes along the lines of Subhanallah, which, and I may have mispronounced it, but not on purpose, which she wanted to try to do a tongue-in-cheek and said, that's our way of saying, oh my gosh. Well, thank goodness we got some solid, decent Americans, or should I say just decent people in the Muslim community. We have Shireen Kudosi, we got Rita Panahi. They both chimed in on it. Rita Panahi is at RIAPANAHI. She's got 197,000 followers. You got Shireen Kudosi, that's spelled SHIREENQUDOSI, and it's got the @ for her Twitter page. She's got 34,000 K following her. And they stepped to Ilhan and said, baby girl, don't be playing games. You're being foolish here. What she was really doing, once again, was celebrating our misery, celebrating the pain of America, just like I suspected she did during 9/11. But she cold busted on this one. Go look at her Twitter page. Send her some love. Educate that girl, because she's going too far. Speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and use my friend Two Sweets right now in tribute to all that craziness that Ilhan Omar and AOC are doing. Because, like they like to try to say some people did something. Well, we know who it is that's doing what. And it's you two crazy people.
Some people did something.
CARE was founded after 9/11.
Some people did something.
Because they recognized that some people did something.
Some people did something.
And that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Some people did something, I heard her say,
as she crossed the line that day. An entire nation cried at the empty spaces left behind, replacing my city skyline, and the way we all would live our lives was replaced with 3,000 beams of light illuminates the sky at night to symbolize all the lives we lost that day.
Some people did something, I heard her say,
as she crossed the line that day.
Some people did something.
In a blink of an eye, 3,000 people died that day.
Some people did something.
An entire nation cried for all the loved ones who passed away.
Some people did something.
Yes, it hurts inside, the pain don't go away.
Some people did something, I heard her say,
as she crossed the line that day. We swore that we'd never forget all the people we failed to protect, with a promise that we'd never let such an evil in our house again. capitulated with an ideology of hatred. The people's house been infiltrated.
Some people did something.
Yeah, the people's house been infiltrated.
Some people did something, I heard her say.
As she crossed the line that day.
Some people did something.
How does she trivialize such an horrific crime that way?
Some people did something.
How dare she patronize all those innocent lives that way?
Some people did something.
She showed a darker side where her allegiance lies that day.
Some people did something, I heard her say.
Yeah, she crossed the line that day.
Some people did something.
Such a callous way to describe such a sacred day.
Some people did something.
And we must all recognize this evil in disguise is our enemy.
Some people did something.
Oh, it's just a matter of time. We get caught by surprise again.
Some people did something, I heard her say.
As she crossed the line that day.
And that is Some People Did Something from one of my best friends, Toot Sweet. American Patriot. You got to check his stuff out. He's on Twitter at the call sign at Hey, HeyTootsSweets, at Hey Toot Sweet. American Patriot, the man's got good skills, got all that good music. I love to play his music on the show all the time. We'll be listening to more of it throughout the show. That really got me going, y'all. This AOC and Ilhan Omar and the rest of them, they be tripping. I don't know how much more we can take of these fools, but we'll figure it out, right? Hey, we got to take a station break. We'll be right back after these messages.
You are listening to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend, Ken White. He'll be back after these messages.
She passed by in a black Mercedes. Damn, she fine. The way her body's moving.
I popped the Perrier Jouet, trying to get the two-way cracking. Me and you back in the back of the back room, acting like you can't come back soon enough to do it rough. Cause you a bluff, but I'm a winner. I can hold, watch your pretty legs go.
Hi, Joy Villa here, reminding you to tune in to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend, Ken.
We apologize. We love China. We love, playing there. I know for both of us individually, we go there, once or twice a year. They show us the most support and love. So, we appreciate them as a fan base, and we love everything, they're about, and we appreciate the support that they give us individually and as an organization. So, we love them. We love China. We love, playing there. I know for both of us individually, we go there, once or twice a year. They show us the most support and love. So, we appreciate them as a fan base, and we love everything, they're about it. They show us the most support and love. So, we appreciate them as a fan base, and we love everything, they're about it. They show us the most support and love. So, we appreciate them as a fan base, and we love everything, they're about it. They show us the most support and love. So, they show us the most support and love. So, they show us the most support and love. So, they show us the most support and love. So, they show us the most support and love. So,
Hey, it's Ken White. We're back for the second segment of the Southside Unicorn Show on Funked Up Fridays. Seen enough? Well, there's another part of Have You Seen Enough? Here we are in the bumper. I heard that bumper trailer. It's got some of the NBA stars when some of my friends in Hong Kong were fighting for their freedom, you know, the Hong Kong protest, and they reached out to the NBA and said, hey, look, we're fighting for our freedoms. We're fighting for our civil rights. Do you think maybe you might be able to help us just a little bit? And they were silent. And those that did speak out, oh, they caught hell. And I'm listening to these NBA scholars, these wise men like LeBron James, saying that China shows them the most important love. Well, how you like them now, my man? What's up with that? And now here our young people are, since we're sheltered inside. Oh, China got the explanation. China got the cure. They gonna let some of the NBA players, I'm searching for words here sometimes, y'all. Oh, they gonna have some kind of little tournament with the new NBA 2K so our children won't be bored, and they gonna be doing it on Chinese gear from PlayStation with Chinese stars playing the game, aka the NBA. Have you noticed how quiet they are? Have you noticed how quiet Hollywood and the NBA and all that stuff are about this COVID-19, this China virus, this corona situation? Have you seen enough? Well, if you haven't, we're going to keep going, and we got more to keep talking about. But you know what? Sometimes, man, I swear to God, it just gets me. So I'm searching for words, you know. I had to stall out just a little bit ago with AOC and Ilhan Omar. You know, one, they're females. Two, they're supposed to be members of Congress. I'm supposed to be an American, which I am. I'm a man, and I got to contain myself. But they're making America mad as hell. They need to chill with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's that? It's the drinking song, y'all. That means I hope you got one in your hand. I hope you're ready to get down and understand. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to have an alcoholic beverage. It can be hot cocoa. It can be tea. It can be whatever you want it to be, so long as you got it in your hand and you hanging out with me. But that reminds me of a friend of mine, Steph Myers. Hey, Steph, I love how you do it. You have such a ray of light in your heart. You're always smiling. You're always cheerful. It's a pleasure to be affiliated with you. I enjoy going onto your Instagram page and wherever and just see all of the witticisms and the fun and the positive energy that you put out to people. Ladies and gentlemen, she did a little bit of a witticism last night that was just absolutely too funny. She said, if you want to not put your hands in your face, the best way to do it is to have a wine glass in each hand. Oh, girl, you be tripping, I swear. But you know, she's just having fun and trying to keep everything light. And I love you for it, Steph. So if you guys want to follow her on Twitter, her Twitter page is at Real Steph Myers. That's RealStephMyers. At Real Steph Myers. She's the real deal. She's real people down to earth. I guarantee you'll be laughing and smiling, and you'll feel a whole lot better once you follow her on her Twitter page. You know what? That reminds me, man. Let me see what I got here right now. Hold on. Yeah. Now, I'll tell y'all what that is. I'm going to leave that up to your imagination. Now, because it is the Southside Unicorn Show, and I do understand radio etiquette. You know, I've worked with the best. iHeartRadio, so I understand the rules. But we kind of suspended the rules a little bit because of this COVID-19, this China virus, this corona thing, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and have a drink right now, y'all. Hold on. Give me a minute. What a tasty beverage. I hope yours tastes as good as mine just did, because that was on hit. Now, I guess we're supposed to get back down to doing this show, right? Ha-ha. We're going to talk about a situation that happened back in 1968. And the only reason we're talking about it is because, you know, and we're gonna get down on that more in the later segments of the show. This USS Theodore Roosevelt. I got a little something I want to say about that. So, man, whoo! So I figured I would start off by just refreshing our memories. In 1968, the 23rd of January to be exact, the USS Pueblo became the first American commissioned ship to ever be captured. That's right. The North Koreans, the no-cos of all people, go figure. Doesn't it seem like the more things change, the more things stay the same? Still dealing with them fools right now. But yeah, the USS Pueblo was taken back in January of 1968. They claimed that they were outside of the 12-mile radius of North Korea, but all the same, the North Koreans dropped hella bomb on the USS Pueblo. They sent like 2 MiGs, couple sub-destroyers, couple submarine chasers after these guys. They wanted them in the worst possible way, you know. And so the captain of the ship radioed for help, and they said that help was on the way. And so the USS Pueblo battled as hard as it could for 3 hours with 2 50-millimeter machine guns against all that was arrayed against them. So, you know, my hat's off to them on that part. But when you consider everything that was really going on with the USS Pueblo and everything that happened after they were captured, you begin to have to ask yourself if the word scuttle doesn't come into play. Now, I realize it's 52 years later, and I was not there. But I have worn the uniform. I was an M60 machine gunner. And I know that we were trained that if you were being overrun, and oh, snap, I was in South Korea, right up there near the 38th parallel myself. So dealing with the North Koreans is not something that I'm unfamiliar with. Chinchayo. And so we were taught that if you're going to be overrun, if you're going to lose, which sometimes happens, destroy all weapons, try not to get captured, always attempt to escape, and only give your name, rank, and serial number. That's it. Geneva Convention style, you know. And so when I think about the U.S. Pueblo, recognizing now that it was a spy ship, y'all. It was on a spy mission, and they knew it. So you got all this data on board this ship, the USS Pueblo. You're under attack by the North Koreans. It don't look like you're going to be doing too good. Help may not necessarily be on the way, as one of the survivors, Chica, who is like, you know, old as dirt now. You know, thank you for your service, Chica. But Chica likes to remember the USS Pueblo in this way. You know, he says, man, I cannot believe they left us like that. What? What? What kind of stinking thinking is that? We don't leave nobody behind on purpose. It may be accidental, and it may be actually part of a tactical plan, which means that you are in a situation where you might have to give it up. Nobody wants to. That's been the credo of our military since forever, since even before the kamikazes of the Japanese. We like our people to live for our country, not die for our country. We all understand that. But there are times when you knee deep in the game, you might have to make that sacrifice. So instead of doing that, knowing they were heavy laden with spy data that would be damaging and embarrassing to the United States of America, the men of the USS Pueblo gave it up. They surrendered. And they endured one of the most horrific years of their lives. Because they got beat down, they got handled, they got just medieval beats. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, on the other end of that, at any given point in time, you would be happy for them and their loved ones that their family members, after a painful year, were still alive. Let's not, play with that too much. But when you realize what the American government, at a time where we were still in the Vietnam War, the Bay of Pigs had just happened. Oh, this is a lot for us to have to deal with. It forced a military general to have to sign an agreement with the AAAs, admit, apologize, and assure that it would never happen again. So basically, we had to kiss the North Koreans' butts to get them back. Flash forward 52 years later, we got a president that basically tells Rocket Man to kiss his butt. One difference is, wonder what made the difference. But that's what I'm saying. Have we seen enough yet? Do we not understand that we really are indeed at war? Do we not understand that the whole world ain't necessarily our friends? That the best place and the only place to be is American and in America. Have you seen enough yet? So yeah, that's the USS Pueblo. Happened on the 23rd of January, 1968. One of the first U.S. commissioned naval ship to ever be taken by an enemy. Just something for you to think about as we roll forward in the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about that Prince Harry and his Harry situation. Go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
My name is Toot Sweet, and I'm New York City's original artist, singing for the cause of freedom. I've spent the last 10 years of my life documenting history through my music. It's like a recipe that's blessing me, bringing out the best of me, aggressively testing me to create my own destiny and understanding, universally accepting adversity and learn more lessons in life than you'll learn in any. And when I'm in need of a dose of reality to escape the liberal land of make-believe, I tune in to the Southside Unicorn, where the truth is as solid as New York City concrete. My name is Toot Sweet, and you're listening to my friend Ken White on the Southside Unicorn, and this party is just getting started.
And Moby Dick was the whale.
Yes.
Well, people talk about, leading up to this, people were talking about how there's so many candidates on stage. It's like kind of a combination of speed dating and a first date. This is the first debate. Who gets, do you think, by the Democratic voters, who gets asked back for a second date here?
I think Elizabeth Warren gets asked back.
I think so too. I think she knocked it out of the park.
I think she knocked it out of the park. I think Julian Castro did a phenomenal job.
Well, your Spanish accent is really good in saying his name. You sound
really
like Beto O'Rourke right there. Really.
Hey, it's Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and we're back for the third segment of Funked Up Fridays. Have you seen enough? Well, I hope you're getting something out of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting something out of hanging out with you all. Just sitting here maxing and relaxing, and just sharing some thoughts with you, as I love to do. Hey, I want to send a shout out of love to a friend of mine. Her name is Sarah Afshar. You can find her on Twitter at SarahAfshar. Sarah Afshar. She's beautiful both inside and out. Love reading her stuff. Understand she's trying to get justice for Tanner. There's a lot of things going on Just another beautiful human being that you might want to get to know. So go ahead and find her over there on her Twitter page at SarahAfshar, Sarah Afshar. Okay? Pronounced Afshar. Now, she wrote something the other day that just really got me going. And I just want to share it with you all briefly. Shouldn't take long. Bear with me, okay? Let's see here. It says, the duplicity of existence transcends into the hypocrisy of life. When you fall, people don't want to get you back up. When you rise and stand tall, they all anticipate your fall. Now that's from Sarah Afshar, and that's deep, and that's beautiful. Because in this trying times that we find ourselves right now, and like the family of Tanner, when we fall, we have to pick each other up. The Lord Jesus Christ even asked one time, if a man should fall 7 times, how many times shall you pick him up? So when I read that, it touched my heart deeply. And it bared out the essence of who Sarah really is. I'll read it one more time just so you get it. The duplicity of existence transcends into the hypocrisy of life. When you fall, people don't want to get you back up. When you rise and stand tall, they anticipate your fall. You got that right, Sarah, and thank you for such beautiful words. Again, you can find her on her Twitter page at Sarah Afshar, SarahAfshar. Beautiful words from a beautiful person. Thank you. So, here we are. And I got my drink in my hand. I hope you got your drink in your hand. You know, some people be trying to figure this show out. You know, they're like, well, one minute you're talking about God, and on the next minute you playing like secular music and all that kind of stuff. Hey, it's all, good. Because the bottom line is this. I listen to, now his son is doing the work more so than he is, but I listen to a pastor called Pastor Hagee, Hagee. And that man said something years ago that just locked in my heart. So I'm going to share it with you. He said, don't be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. Pardon me. I believe in that. I believe in that deeply because we are both on earth and in the heavens at the same time. And I believe that we were meant to live our lives. Don't be stupid with it. Don't get carried away with it. Of course not. But live your life. Be cool with everybody. Don't let nobody pull you off into the dark world. But be good with this world. I mean, I think back sometimes of, one of the stories in the Bible. And it says that Jesus went to a wedding where his mom was at, And his mom was like, this is my son and it's all good, party over here. Now, I am pretty sure that they were not playing Handel's Messiah at that wedding party. I'm pretty sure people were celebrating as you are supposed to at a wedding event. I'm pretty sure they were playing whatever was the music of the day at that wedding. You don't see them saying Jesus went to the wedding and he was quite upset. He only did that with the money changers that were messing around in the church. He went to that wedding. He hung around with people. People were drinking and dancing and having a little fun. They obviously weren't being crazy about it. And his mom even said, hey, look, they didn't run out of wine. They didn't run out of something in their hand. Can you help them out? It's in the Bible. So don't you trip. And what did he do? What does Scripture tell us he did? He turned water into wine. And somebody, Steph Meyer, put that glass of wine in their hand, maybe 2 hands, and had a reasonably good time. So yeah, the Southside Unicorn Show, we understand who we are, whose we are. You know what I'm saying? And so just relax and have a good time with the show. There are times when the spiritual side of it pulls in deeper than the secular side. And then there's times when the secular side might be a little bit loud, but it's not the ruling force. So just lean back, settle down, have a good time with your friend Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. So yeah, Prince Harry finds himself in a hairy situation. Now y'all remember, this cat wanted to leave his grandma's house. You know, he got married. He grown now. You know, he full grown. He married what's her name? Mabel Markle. You know what? I'm kind of losing it on her name, Meghan Markle. You know, he married her. And, you know, it says that for these reasons shall a man turn away from his family. So I get all of that. But it said turn away. It didn't say sort of turn away. Kind of turn away. So I say that to say this. Harry all butthurt because he ain't the major general no more. He ain't the modern major general, you know, vegetable or mineral. Looks like the British military done kicked him out. They done took all his stuff away and said, you can't wear the uniform no more. And he all heard about that. He all mad. How you gonna be mad? And you done told them, I don't want to execute my royal duties anymore. Like my man in Coming to America, he wants to go sow his royal oats. So they done told him, you can still wear your medals on a suit, but please don't wear the uniform of the British Marines anymore. And he was a general captain. General captain. That means he's top dog of the British Marine Corps. He had it like that, y'all. He had it good. And then he gonna want to step away from his royal duties and didn't expect his grandma to say, you know what? You won't gone? Then be gone. Now we find out from Meghan Markle's dad, he says to Fox News that, and this is a quote, I lied to make her and Prince Harry's image look a little bit better. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that Meghan Markle's father is claiming he once lied in an interview about his daughter and Prince Harry to help their image. In a 90-minute documentary aired by the UK CBS Channel 5 on Wednesday, Thomas Markle, age 75, detailed Meghan's childhood in Los Angeles, California, her rise to fame in the acting industry, and the role Harry has really played on their estrangement. Trying to say that Harry kind of pulled, Meghan away from her dad. Who knows? Who cares? They got a lot of issues going on over there, but we're starting to see it ain't a fairy tale no more. More like a Brothers Grimm's, nightmare horror story. They said they're trying to play the victims and all that kind of stuff. And the longer this goes and the further it goes, it's looking like Harry then got himself caught up in a trick bag. Looking like Harry then grabbed himself a monkey wrench. But we'll talk about that again on another show. But right now, think about the hypocrisy of these cats. Okay, one, he doesn't want to do his royal duties anymore. So him and Meghan are stepping down. They did their last official royal duties, I think like a week ago or something like that. And then they said, to top it off, they're going to go over there with Weird Boy Trudeau of Canada. Or we're going to go park over here with my man Trudeau and party, like a rock star is what we going to do. Because we don't like that crazy president over there in America. We ain't feeling America. We just going to go live in Canada and eat ourselves some French fries with, is it mayonnaise or something they do like that? It's French fries and mayonnaise. But turns out that didn't hold up too well. They're moving to America. They coming to America, just like Eddie Murphy did, right? And trip on this. So good a people are we. We didn't say, you can't come here. You denounced our president in a time of war? Meghan Markle, you're supposed to be an American. No, we don't care about their titles. We don't care about their fame. We care about the First Amendment rights. And that's why you two jabronis are welcome to come to America, set up your house, do what you got to do. You should do it with your tail between your legs. You should do it with your head hung down a little bit, because y'all starting to look a little on the stupid side. Talk all that trash, being all mean and nasty, and look at where you are. Well, well, well. Welcome home. How the mighty have fallen. But oh no, no. Understand this. My man, President Trump, being the stone cold gangster that he is, he said, you know what, Megan? You know what, Harry? Y'all welcome. Go ahead and come on over here. But we're going to show you how we do it in America. We're not paying for your security bill, your security. You're going to have to pay for that. We ain't paying a dime for it. Looks like it may end up that Harry's daddy going to pay for it for him. Ha! But that's the whole thing I want to, the theme of this show. Have you seen enough? All these people trying to act like they the end all be all, got it all going on, know it all, and that they the righteous ones, and that President Donald J. Trump is all wrong. And every step of the way, somehow, some way, we get to see who's right and who's wrong. And every step of the way, we get to see the most gracious, strong president we've ever seen. Woo, he could have stuck it to them for everything they tried to stick to him, and it fell to the ground. But he was gracious, he was presidential, and he was strong, like a good strong daddy. He said, go ahead and come. Pop tent, do what you got to do. But you're going to pay your own bills. These young people, how you going to abdicate being the Prince of England, the Prince of Wales, and you expect to keep your little uniform? You expect to keep all the trappings that you like and none of the ones that you don't like. Well, the real world of being a man requires that you got to do it all, baby. And if you his woman, if you his wife, and you see how much he has gone through, how much he has lost, your love for him should compel you to want to see that stop. But not you, Megan. You home now. You get to go strike a deal with Disneyland and be a princess for them. Hey, it's time for another station break. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Southside Unicorn Show is my favorite. Why? Because host Ken White tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, no matter how controversial. I love it.
Yes, sir.
What's your name, boy?
Mayo. Zach Mayo, sir.
How did you slip into this program? I didn't know the Navy was so hard up.
You got an injury there, Mayo? Not exactly, sir.
Hey, this is really wonderful work. Where'd you get this, Mayo?
Subic Base, Philippines, sir.
You ought to recognize the work. Be proud of them wings. They're the only ones you're gonna leave here with. Mayonnaise.
Hey, it's yours truly, Ken White, and we're back. Fourth segment, y'all. Yeah, like I promised, I said we was going to talk about, the USS Theodore Roosevelt. But before we really get knee-deep into talking about the ship itself, I just want you to, know a little bit about something of the namesake. We name these ships after great people and for different, states and all that, Arizona and Iowa and all that kind of stuff, Alabama class submarines and, stuff like that. So, yeah, the USS Theodore Roosevelt was named after our 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt. He was also our 25th vice president. He was also a member of the 1st U.S. Volunteer Cavalry, and he fought in the Spanish-American War. Now, this dude was hardcore, y'all. I mean, apropos that an aircraft carrier will be named after Theodore Roosevelt, this dude, do you know what his basic motto in life was? His basic motto was the strenuous life. I want all Americans to live the strenuous life. Now, what that really meant, if you broke it down, he was saying he wants you to toil. He wants you to have effort. He wants you to be high-minded in your endeavors. That's what the strenuous life meant to Theodore Roosevelt. Now, this cat, you got to understand, he had asthma as a baby. We didn't have no medicine for asthma. If you had asthma back in them days, you were mercy to the disease. It told you what you could do in life. It told you how much of life you could have if you had asthma back in them days. But not Theodore Roosevelt. Oh, no. He worked his way out of asthma. He worked his way into being one hardcore dude because he was driven. Everybody respected him. When he took over for his commander and he became the commander over there in the Spanish-American War, that's where the term the Rough Riders came from. Because Theodore Roosevelt, he was hard. He basically was one of those soldiers that was like, we here, let's get this going on. Let's do this. And so, here we got the USS Theodore Roosevelt over there in Guam dealing with the COVID-19, the coronavirus, the Chinese virus, whatever you want to call it. And this captain, Captain Crozier, commander of a naval aircraft carrier with 5,000 souls on board. Now, that's a serious responsibility. The ship itself is damn serious. It could fight a war on its own against the nation if it had to. It's got aircraft. It's got all types. It's got a fighting force. Everything on it. That's a serious responsibility. And you're part of our naval forces at a time when our president has done drug interdiction against Venezuela and the hordes of drug dealers from South America in that same region who are trying to come after us. At the same time when we must not appear weak or damaged by COVID-19, the China virus, the coronavirus, what have you. This man, this captain, the man who's helming the ship of the namesake of President Theodore Roosevelt, decides he wants to do a little bit of Hillary Clinton of his own. Maybe he was trying to get a little payback for Colonel Vindman. Who knows what this man's motivation was, but it doesn't line up with reason. It doesn't line up with being somebody that we can trust with that much power. I mean, even his talking points sound like any leftist uber politician you want to find. You know, go ahead and pick Nancy Pelosi. Go ahead and pick Chuck Schumer. Go ahead and pick Hillary Clinton. And I'm going to give you his words right now and see if you couldn't take them and paste them right on them. This is what he said when it comes to his decision to do what he did with his ship, with his command. Let me see if I can find it so I make sure I say it to you absolutely right. He said, I got so much show prep here. Give me a second. He said that it was not an easy... Watch this. I want to do his exact words. Check this out. My man say, I did not come to my decision lightly, says Captain Crozier. It was a difficult decision. Didn't Nancy Pelosi just say that 3 weeks ago? Didn't they all say that when they were trying to do the fake impeachment of President Trump? I don't do this lightly. It's very serious and a somber decision. He sounds like any leftist politician you want to pick. And then there are people who want to cheer this man. I'm sorry, my brothers and sisters. You're wrong. This man better be glad that all we did was fire him. instead of putting them in front of a firing squad. We're at war, ladies and gentlemen, and our enemies are licking their chops. Now we got a naval aircraft carrier out of commission. He had 5,000 souls on board, y'all, this drama queen. And of that 5,000, once they really got a handle on the situation where he tried to make it look like the military was abandoning him. Remember that? From homeboy Mr. Chica, actually, Bosun's mate Mr. Chica from the USS Pueblo felt like America had abandoned him. We don't do that, especially if your ship is docked in an American territory like Guam. How are we going to abandon you? Stop tripping, my man. So now, of that 5,000 souls on board, which is warranted that he should want to care about them, but we care about them too. Don't leave us out. Don't leave the president out. He didn't follow his chain of command. He used an unsecured line to leak. You remember that? Leaks. Leak. Everybody's leaking. Put your depends on, man. So he leaked that information out. And it would be one thing if he leaked it out in a singular direction. If he did that, that would almost, get him through the door. But he didn't just leak it out in one direction, like say to his superior commander, who happened to be birthed right down the hall from him. So he could have went to this man and talked to him. But he didn't do that, y'all. He went ahead and sent out an unsecured message twice. And he CC'd over 20 to 30 people who had no business getting that information. So it left Rear Admiral John Kirby no choice but to lose trust and confidence in his ability to lead that naval aircraft carrier. So Captain Brett Crozier, for whatever service you've done in the past that was of use to America, thank you for that. But I'm sorry you became a partisan hack and decided to burn your command for expedience sake. But hey, we dealt with that before. Watch this. Here's an ironic parallel. The President Theodore Roosevelt, as a child, actually witnessed the funeral procession of Abraham Lincoln. So, Commander Crozier, former Captain Brett Crozier, because you're fired now, if you have a different ideology than America, if you cannot honor this president, just like they did back in the Civil War, you should have taken the uniform off and put your own uniform on. Hell, go get Harry. He needs a new uniform too. Y'all need to quit with this. We entrusting people in these offices, and then you turning around and using them for your own political expedience. You knew we were going to get you guys off that boat. You knew we'd take care of ours. In the end, even those on the USS Pueblo found that out because a 3-star general had to go and kiss the Koreans, North Koreans, in their butt and sign something he should have never had to sign. Because you made decisions for yourself, for your own survival. Now here we go again, 52 years later. Captain Brett Crozier gonna act like I did this for my men because we're not in a time of war. You don't get to say that, mister. I remember distinctly hearing our president say we're at war with an invisible enemy. And now you have to put in your talking point because you stole some limelight that you allegedly didn't do lightheartedly. You said, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, you said, I made this decision because we're not at war. I'm glad they kicked your butt out. See, I'm an old schooler. I might not have done everything perfectly when I was in the war. Some things I did a little differently that I should not have. But I'm a fighting man. And I love my country. And if I have to die, no matter what mechanism upon it that will claim my life, if I lost my life for my loved ones, for my family, for my friends, for my country, then my life was well spent. And to see you scrambling like a coward to COVID-19, China virus, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, you're disgusting to me. We are at war. And so I'll say it to all my brothers and sisters who were on that deck clapping for him. Slap yourselves and get yourselves in gear. We're at war. And you might find yourself on a hill with no provisions. All you got left is your ammunition. Are you going to put the gun down, your weapon down, and just walk? Or do you fire to the last bullet, to the last man? Do we fight? Do we fight? Have you seen enough? Because I damn sure have. Either we're America and this is America, either we're Americans and this is America, or we may as well just sit down and get our PlayStations and get ready to play the game they want us to play. Basketball or football or whatever useless sport you can name. I'd rather play the game of life like President Theodore Roosevelt. I would rather be high-minded in my goals. I would rather toil. And I would rather spend my life trying to make a better world than to save my life for myself. We got difficult decisions ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and they're going to be hard. I pray we find ourselves harder than the circumstances that we find ourselves in. Because if we become squishy like Captain Crozier, we're in trouble. We got problems, y'all. So yeah, knew this time would come, y'all. Knew we'd be right where we are. And I pull myself back together because I know I said a mouthful. I know there's going to be military people out there that's got one opinion about it, and there's going to be military people who's got another opinion about it. You civilians, I'm not really worried about what you think. Because unless you're ready to do some of the fighting and the dying, unless you are willing to do as the founding fathers said, I pledge my purse and my life to the same. Which reminds me of my program, which is hashtag give a dollar, give a damn. Okay, our enemies have paralyzed our economy. There are people out there suffering, y'all. All you got to do is go on the hashtag, on the thread. You pick 20 people. You pick them. And take a $20 bill. List the name of the people that you helped. Maybe others will just use that same list and help those same people so that it's truly magnified help. But if we don't become our own helpers, we will become our own enemies. I'm going to keep on doing this show as long as I can do this show. My brother Mike, the best closer, allowed me to be on his show, and I did a shout out for some help. I'm doing it again. Donate whatever you can, as often as you can. Like, tweet, and share the show. My contact or pay page is paypal.me/KenWhite4444. Get it going, y'all. This is real. I don't want to lose this war, and I don't want to fade out of it, but I can't do it without your help. We have to help each other. We have to accept where we are and get really real about this one, y'all. Hey, how do I say it? Thank you for sharing this time with me. There's no place I'd rather be. Nothing more I'd rather do than be right here doing this show for you. This is Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and we are out.